Alright everyone, welcome back yet again to another video. This is gonna be a quick one. It's pretty much always back to back to the last one. After the last one just got super annoyed because I felt the AI was doing random attacks. The attacks weren't like following which stance the attack was in. The AI was in. So I did some error searching and find out I had made an error. So I'm just quickly gonna show you a fix, and we're gonna change up the AI a little bit, the way the AI behaves, just so it acts a little bit more natural or better or more predictive, so that we can actually play the game. So what happened before was that you see this switch on int that we have that decide which guard we're gonna use. What happened before was this one was here. After this part where we go into either combat mode or continue. And what happened was that the AI could strafe in one direction, then return back here, and right before the attack we could switch the guard and then make the attack. So the AI could strafe to the left with the left, and you'll be prepared for the left attack, but then the code runs back to the server here, and just right before the attack switches guard to up. So you're preparing for the left strike, but in the same millisecond that the strike comes, the guard changes to up. And so basically what happens is it looks like even though the left stance is there, he's using the up attack, for instance. So it's impossible to actually prepare for. So we I just moved this part where we set the guard to the part where we strafe. So if the random int makes us strafe, that's the only time we're gonna change the guard. So that means that we're guarding in one direction, and then we switch back, and even if we go to attack, we're gonna attack in the same way that we are guarding. It makes it a lot easier to play the game. I felt there was something off when I played before, and this is completely it. We're also going to be adding another function. I already did it without thinking, so I'm just going to show you. Find closest player, this one. So we're going to switch it up a little bit basically. So what we want to do is from the on pawn sensing, just disconnect this one. So on pawn sensing, we want to call, if we don't have target, we're going to set it to reset AI. So we're going to reset the AI behavior, and after we reset the AI behavior, we're going to set has targets to true, which is this one. So from the first time we're pawn sensing, we're not going to use pawn sensing anymore. I wonder if there's a way to actually disable. Oh. I'm not gonna mess with that now. So this makes it so that we only use the pawn sensing once. After that, we're purely gonna rely on this function, reset function. So reset AI makes us find the closest player. You had this function before, but it was find closest enemy. So in the master AI, I just renamed it find closest player instead of find closest enemy. This is the same. This is the same. Switch this one from master AI to player third person character. You need to reconnect this loop for each loop, or refresh it. I'm not sure it's enough to refresh it. Then you need to get distance from this one. Self can remain. Closest player different. This is fine. This is fine. This is as usual. And this one is not fine. So just remove closest enemy because it's not used anymore. And promote the array element and call that one closest player instead. Set it there. So the function is pretty much exactly the same, but we're finding closest player instead of closest enemy. Back in your AI graph, so that's the first thing. So whenever we reset the AI, we're gonna find the closest player. that also means we don't need this target one that we have here. So let's just remove that. And instead drag this one. Do we use that? Oh, okay. And we don't need to set the has target here because we already did it over here. So we're just cleaning this up a little bit. So now, whenever we find the closest player, we want to move to the closest player. We're still going to use about 400 radius. If we are in combat mode, we don't need to do anything, but if we are not in combat mode, we need to go into combat mode. Perfect. Back. If must attack is false by default, if it's true, we go into attack. If it's not true, which it's not going to be most of the time, we're going to do a random int to either attack again or not attack again. I feel that this is maybe we shouldn't make it this hard on ourselves, maybe, because this makes it so that we can spam attack, which is not nice actually, to be honest. The AI will sometimes do 2 attacks in a row, isn't that annoying? I'm not sure you should be able to. Yeah, it's fine for now. Let's do it like that. Or actually, let's not do it like that. Let's just keep it easy for now. Just until everything is finished, we can polish and make it harder in the end. But for now, let's just keep it simple. So, perfect. From there, we change the strafing direction. We set is strafing to true. And we random strafe. We can strafe in different directions than the guard. So that's fine. So don't change the guard here, because that means the guard will always be the same way that's the strafing direction. We're gonna have a tiny delay. And then we're gonna set must attack to be true. And there we go. And for the attacks, I made some changes here for the attack animation, because it was when I was trying to figure out what was wrong. Apparently it wasn't necessary, so maybe I should just switch that back. So what I did was I just fed the animation through because I thought that was the problem. I'm just gonna turn that back to the other way it was. It was better before, so just ignore that for now. Yeah. So, and yeah, it's pretty much the same up here as before. Yes, the acceptance radius is there. I just made the switch here instead, and instead of doing one server attack, I make the switch here and then set it to must attack, and I just feed the animation through the server and combat attack instead of making the switch for which attack here. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. I put it here when I was searching for errors. It's fine here as well. Actually, I prefer it now because it makes things a little bit clearer. After we make an attack, we set must attack to false. Then we add a slight delay. Probably don't need this delay anymore, to be honest. So let's not, because that's just gonna make him stand still and not do anything. Also, it makes it a little bit cleaner. Let's check the distance if the player has ran away. If the player has run away, the distance is further, we're gonna turn combat mode off so that we can hunt straight for the player. And no matter what, we're gonna reset AI. And here as well, we're gonna reset AI, which means that we're gonna go back to the start. And since we just attacked, we're gonna go back here and we're gonna strafe. So that should make it a little bit cleaner and easier. Oh, actually he's attacking like crazy. He's not strafing at all, is he? Is it here? Should I change it here? This can't be it, right? So has target is true, so that shouldn't wait. Is this updating so much because we are not using a delay? Or let me just print this one out. Why isn't it strafing? Must attack. Go back here, which means we must attack, and must attack is false, which means that we should go down here, and we shouldn't actually reset. Let me just print here. I just want to see if that's triggering a lot. It is. It's triggering a shitload. Why is it? Is it because I'm not using a delay? It might be. Okay, I experimented with this before. Because I removed the delay, so it just passes through. I thought the delay was built into this one, but it's not. So I did this way. So in the attack function, from here, so this is the MC attack. So what you want to do is this return value returns the length of the animation. So if you promote that to a variable and set it, and we can call it attack delay. And in here, in the AI graph, after we attack, we set delay on the duration of attack delay. Is that fine? So now we do a delay. It's better. That's better. We still aren't strafing at all, but at least we aren't spamming attacks, so that's good. And looks like there's still some errors, or as you can see, that attack missed. I don't have no idea why that didn't trigger. That hit. That should also trigger. So yeah, I think I know why that is, so we're probably gonna fix that later in the next video. Okay, we are getting a bunch of errors. It's because we don't have... it's because we're never setting the target. Sorry. Obviously, we remove the target. Find results, target. Where are we using target? And get target somewhere. Okay, here change your reference for the target and just do the closest player all the time instead. Okay, I'm just gonna do like that, and I'm gonna find out where the errors are. Maybe it's fine. Maybe I destroyed something now. Okay, now it's better. Now he's strafing. Perfect. Okay, so yeah. So now it's working fine. I think it's better than before at least. So what we'll do in the next video is we're gonna make this a lot more accurate by... Yeah, I have a few ideas. I'm gonna experiment a little bit between videos. As you can see, it's not hitting at all because it's a horrible system. What you can do is go into your weapon mesh. He's not hitting. I did this between videos, but it might, yeah, there might be lots of different reasons. The collision is not big enough. The animation is bad. We're just gonna target and attack and variables instead to hit the distance, basically instead of the animation. And also that's what we want. So yeah, let's do that next video. This looks a lot better. Feels like I'm going strong. Feels like we're getting somewhere right now. This feels a lot better than in the previous video. So, and yeah, it's actually making sense now. So that's nice. So yeah, perfect. As always, let me know in the comments if you have any questions or anything. And yeah, that's it. Bye.